Senator Rick Scott, who explains to Bret Baier.
Speaking of aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Who explains to Bret Baier why the deficit that grew under Trump was not an issue, but the one that exists under Biden could be or is. I mean, well, let's play this clip.
Senator, you're talking a lot about the deficit and debt. A number of Republicans are, but it wasn't that way under the Trump administration. In fact, if you look at the numbers, the debt went up at the end of fiscal 2020, $26.9 trillion. The Trump administration and Republicans added $6.7 trillion to the debt. That was since President Obama's last budget, 33% increase. Understanding COVID had a big role in that, but there's not a great track record for Republicans recently to tout themselves as deficit debt hawks, and now to be doing it here.
Oh, I did. I paid off. I walked in as governor of Florida in 2011 with a $4 billion budget deficit, a state that had increased its debt every year by over $1 billion. And in 8 years, working with the legislature, growing our economy, we paid off a third of state debt. Since I've been up here, I've been talking about the debt, how excessive spending causes your family and the poorest families the most money. It's causing inflation. It's causing ridiculous inflation right now.
You're kind of a lone voice, aren't you? Or one of them.
Oh, no. We had a caucus meeting where we said we're not going to raise the debt ceiling without all Republican senators said we will not raise the debt ceiling without structural change.
But my point
is
that
all
you
agreed
did
to do
under the Trump administration with no strings attached.
I've been up here 2 years, Brett. I am working my tail off. I'm fed up with a government that can't live within their means. Every family in this country has got to figure out how to live within their means. I grew up in a very poor family. My mom had to figure out how to put food on the table without borrowing money. There was nobody that's just going to go throw money at her. So we all have to do it in our personal lives. We have to do it as government. You can do it. Watch how you spend the money. Like on this bill, do it responsibly. Do roads, bridges, airports, and seaports. Don't borrow money.
Well, maybe we should make it possible for your mother not to have to worry about that in the future. But B, of course, states are different than the federal government. But what's fascinating about this is that this sounds so anachronistic that even Bret Baier has to bring it up. Like it would be just awkward for him to not even mention, like, this seems to be coming out of nowhere.
Well, they're coming from a still like a deficit debt hawkery place.
But my point is that this, I mean, I understand that, but my point is like the talking point itself has like lost all salience because it
well, you see this with Chris Wallace too, like Baier is more respectable there, so they're kind of they're going to toe that line. But
you never hear them saying anymore. It's like it's so, and it is so. They put it away. It's like they had a cast on their leg for like 4 years, and when they take it off, you just see like their calves have just shriveled up. And they can't really walk on it without like a limp. That's basically what it is. And it doesn't have any impact. So they're not going to raise the debt ceiling. And there was a time where this was like a huge thing during the Obama administration. They were like paying it, like, pretending like it was going to be big. And now I think what's going to happen is Democrats are going to put it in the reconciliation bill and nobody's going to care.
Well, They've milked that talking point to excess. It's just dried and shriveled up now because I
think it's the opposite. That they didn't use that. They forgot about it for so long that it dried and shriveled up.
I just think that the media, even to the Chris Wallace's and Bret Baier's, they can't stand the tax cuts and what it added to the debt and deficit, and like still maintain some semblance of journalistic integrity and not talk to Rick Scott about that.
It's possible. I think it's embarrassing to them. They're just like, we got to pretend.
I mean, but okay. And then the other thing about Rick Scott lecturing people about fiscal responsibility, wasn't he the guy that oversaw massive Medicare fraud when he led that hospital?
I think, to be fair, it was Medicaid.
Oh, I apologize.
He took the fifth. I think it was like 43 times.
He took like hundreds of millions of dollars in some sort of parachute on his way out. But like for him, that's him living within his means, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
Also, he has been touting the Trump tax cuts even as recently as last December. So,
Well,
But he wasn't there to vote for it, so you can't hold him to that.
but that's the thing is, like, if I'm going to have any kind of conversation about national debt, which I'm very not inclined to do,
Right.
it starts with taxing rich people. That's who's going to pay for it. I know where a lot of money is.
A lot of money's in his pocket in that multi-$100 million of stock options that he ran out the door with after committing fraud at his previous job.
what are you going to do? I appreciate that. Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really, thank you.